Hello viewers, welcome back to another video lecture of Business and Financial Environment. You are watching our YouTube channel Event College Digital Classes and virtual platform of Udainath Autonomous College of Science and Technology. So, in this paper of Business and Financial Environment, we had discussed many things till date, and we come to know that how the business environment is going to affect the business, or we can say they are interdependent on each other. And business environment always been taken with a business, and business cannot exist in isolation. So, in this business environment, there are various factors that we had already discussed, and in our previous classes we are specifically discussing on the economic environment of the business. So, in this economic environment of business, we had come to know that this economic environment is very grave or very vital for business, although every factor and every component of the business environment is affecting the business or is going to influence the business. The economic environment is having a specific role altogether. Now, when we are talking of this economic environment, and specifically when we are talking of our country, so when we are talking of India, so there are various economic problems or economic issues that are there in our country. So, when we are talking of our country India, we know that we are a developing country, and in the way of development there are various constraints. And when we are talking of that constraints in economic terms, there are various obstacles or there are various challenges, we can say, that are there for the development of the economy of India. So, what are these economic problems that are there in India? In today's class we are going to look into that. So, without much delay, let us go in detail of today's class, that is economic problems in India. Before going in detail, let us first understand that what is this economy is, and if we will see an entire network of producers, distributors and consumers of goods and services in a local, regional or national community is termed as the economy. And when we will talk of India in specific, since 1991, the Indian economy has pursued free market liberalization, greater openness in trade and increased investment in infrastructure. So, there is a significant change after 1991. So, this helped the Indian economy to achieve a rapid rate of economic growth and economic development. However, the economy still faces various problems and challenges such as corruption, lack of infrastructure, poverty in rural areas and poor tax collection rates. So, when we are talking of the economy of India in specific, as we have discussed, after 1991, when we have an open market system, when the Indian economy is open, then there comes a reformation or a revolution in the economy of India. So, in the year 1991 is a significant year in the economy of India, and after that there is LPG, what we say is in the code word, that is the liberalization, globalization and privatization that facilitate the growth of economy in a rocket speed. So, although there is a reform in the economic structure and economic reforms come into force, there are still various problems or challenges that the economy of our country is facing. Now, what are these problems and challenges in specific? If you will see, the problems that are there are mostly the inflation, poverty and inefficient agriculture. And if you see that the challenges that are there, that are the population growth, corruption, unemployment, economic growth, income inequality and the literacy rate. So, these are the problems that we are having in our economy, and these are the challenges which we are facing when we are thinking of the development of our economy. Now, if we will talk of the inflation, what is it? That inflation is the rate at which the value of a currency is falling and consequently the general level of prices for goods and services is rising. And this inflation is sometimes classified into three types, that is demand pull inflation, cost push inflation and built in inflation. So, this inflation is the rate at which the value of currency is falling and the general level of price of goods and services rising. So, we can say that when there is rise of price in the market, that is a inflationary situation, and this inflationary situation might be because of there is high demand or demand pull, or there is push of cost, that is cost push inflation, or it might be a built-in inflation which is built in. Like that, most commonly used inflation indexes are the consumer price index and the wholesale price index, and this inflation can be viewed positively and even negatively depending on the individual viewpoint and the rate of change that is there in the inflation. So, those with tangible assets like property or stocked commodities may like to see some inflation as that rises the value of their assets, and people holding cash may not like inflations as it erodes the value of their cash holdings. So, ideally an optimum level of inflation is required to promote spending to a certain extent instead of saving, thereby nurturing the economic growth. So, when we are talking of this inflation, inflation is the situation in which there is a rise in the price and there is the situation in which we have the higher rate or higher price in the market for a particular commodity or service, and this inflationary might be positive or might be negatively taken by various group of people or by the people. So, when we are talking of the people, those who are holding some assets or some value, they take it in a positive way because the inflationary situation rise the price of their valued commodity. And on the other hand, the people, those who are holding cash or those who have money, the inflationary situation is definitely going to affect them adversely. So, they are taking inflation as a negative issue. But the ideal thing is to have a moderate or a optimum level of inflation, that is a healthy sign of growth. Another big issue or big problem that is there in Indian economy that we hear every now and then is poverty, and this poverty is nothing but a state or condition in which a person or commodity lacks the financial resources and essentials for a minimum standard of living, and this poverty stricken people and families might go without proper housing, clean water, healthy food and medical attention. So, whenever we are talking of Indian economy, the first thing that comes to everyone's mind is poverty and unemployment. These two are there which are the cause and challenge of Indian economy since we come to have our own economic system. So, this poverty is nothing but is defined as the people, those who are deprived of their basic needs of food, clothing and shelter, added with the safe drinking water and healthcare system. So, when the people are deprived of these very basic needs, they are called as poor, or they are termed as the poor section of the people, and this poverty is a biggest problem that is there in the Indian economy. And this poverty could be of various types, that are the relative poverty, which refers to poverty of people in comparison to other people in different region or nation, that is the relative poverty when we are relating with some other region or nation. It might be absolute poverty, which refers to total number of people living below the poverty line, and it might be absolute poverty is and this absolute poverty is measured on the basis of two criteria. So, when we are talking of this absolute poverty, it is categorized, or it has been measured under two criteria, that are the minimum calories consumption criteria and the minimum consumption expenditure criteria. So, now what are that minimum calories consumption, when the people who are not getting 2400 calories per person per day in rural areas and 2100 calories in urban areas, is considered to be living below poverty line. So, that is what is the parameter of measuring the absolute poverty in terms of calorie consumption. And if we will talk of the expenditure criteria, the new poverty line this translates to a monthly per capita consumption expenditure of rupees 972 in rural area and 1407 rupees in urban areas in 2011 and 12, or we can say 32 rupees in rural areas and 47 in urban areas on a per capita daily basis. So, on the terms of consumption expenditure criteria, the absolute poverty is been defined as the person who is earning below rupees 32 in rural area and below 47 in the urban area are absolute poor, or that is what the parameter of absolute poverty is. Now, what is this poverty line? So, when we are talking of various programs, you must be hearing about the people of below poverty line, the people of those who are poor, those who are middle class, those who are rich, those who are very rich, and those who are millionaire and billionaires. So, there are various yardsticks, or there are various sections in which the poverty line has been classified or designed. So, what this poverty line refers is to that line which expresses per capita average monthly expenditure that is essentially required by the people to satisfy their minimum needs. As per Tendulkar committee, poverty line is estimated in monthly basis as rupees 860 in 16 as rupees 816 in rural areas and 1000 rupees in urban areas. So, people who are not able to earn even such amount in a month are considered below poverty line, and according to the survey, approximately 22% population in India is below poverty line. So, when we are talking of poverty, all are shouting and crying of poverty, and there is also a parameter or a line of poverty that has been defined by Tendulkar committee. So, everyone cannot say that they are poor or they are in a situation of poverty. So, what this poverty line is saying, that if you are earning 816 rupees per month in urban or 1000 rupees in urban area, then you are above the poverty line. If someone is earning below that, then he is considered to be below the poverty line. And as per the survey, 22% of the Indian population are below the poverty line. So, for a developed economy or for the right development of the Indian economy, this gap should be reduced. Now, how this poverty line has been estimated? So, if we will see calorie based estimation for rural areas, intake calorie was estimated at 2400 calories, and for urban areas it is 2100 calories. And in 1999 and 2000, new ways of measuring standard, that is monthly per capita expenditure, is estimated for rural area as consumption worth is 816 rupees per person, and for urban areas it is rupees 1000 presently as per Tendulkar committee that we have seen. And there are three approach of government to combat this poverty, that is enhancing economic growth, specific programs for poverty elevation, and fulfilling the minimum needs of the poor. So, these are the three approaches that the government is taking to eradicate the poverty. Now, this poverty is been viewed as a vicious circle. It refers to situation of self reinforcing forces in which there are certain factors that are related in a circular way and results in continuation of poverty and underdevelopment. Now, what are the causes of this poverty if you look into, that is the rapid increase in population, low level of national product, rise in price, unemployment, low rate of growth, capital deficiency, rural indebtedness, exploitation under British rule for a long period of time, low education, inflationary pressure, high level of migration from rural areas, failure to implement land reforms and so on. So, these are the various causes of poverty in our economy. Now, what are the measures that are adopted by the government to remove this poverty? If we look into, that is food for work program, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, Sampurna Gramin Rojgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Sahari Rojgar Yojana, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, Jawaharlal Gram Samriddhi Yojana and so on. So, these are the various measures that have been adopted by government for removal of poverty, and there are programs adopted by government to help elderly and poor people and also destitute women, like National Social Assistance Program, which includes a National Old Age Pension Scheme, National Family Benefit Scheme, National Maternity Benefit Scheme and so on. That there is also Annapurna Yojana and on the job training programs that have been adopted by the government that helps the elderly and poor people for the development of their economic condition. Then another important and grave challenge that the Indian economy is always facing is unemployment. So, what this unemployment is, if you see, this unemployment is a term referring to individuals who are employable and actively seeking a job, but are unable to find a job. Included in this group are those people in the workforce who are working, but do not have an appropriate job. So, usually measured by the unemployment rate, which is dividing the number of employed people by the total number of people in the workforce, unemployment serves as one of the indicators of a country's economic status. So, this is what unemployment is, which is a grave issue that always the Indian economy is facing, while the skilled and eligible graduates or eligible youngsters, those who are seeking for job, haunting for job, are not getting the right kind of employability. So, that is what unemployment is, which is a grave and important challenge of the Indian economy is. There are various other problems and challenges which we will be discussing in our next class. So, in today's class, what we come to know that since 1991, after liberalization, there is a wide growth or development in the Indian economy. There is open market system which come to force, there is liberalization of the markets, there is globalization which connect the Indian market or Indian economy to the world economy and world market, and there is promotion of privatization of various industries and the various business sectors which promote the development of economy. Still, the Indian economy is facing various challenges and there are various problems, like we have talked of inflations and we talked of poverty in specific. So, this poverty what we are talking of is various parameters are there by which we are judging or measuring the poverty, and there is a line of poverty, and that how it has been defined by the Tendulkar committee we also discussed. And also we come to know that what could be the minimum calorie intake or parameter by which we can define someone to be under the poverty line or above the poverty line or on the poverty line. So, there are various parameters, there are various committees, and the government has put forward various programs and schemes for the development of the economy, and specifically to bring out the Indian economy of this poverty line or this poor line. So, that is what the programs that various programs that not only to eradicate poverty, but also to make the elderly people, the destitute women, or to make them sound, and their sound economic condition is also focus of government, and government is working towards their development and their growth. And we also talked of employment in general when we are talking of Indian economy, that is the biggest issue that is there with the Indian economy. Other also various important issues and challenges are there, which we will be discussing in our next class. So, for today's this is all. Thank you.